Welcome back, everybody. Officer Paul Tapao is here with the Guam Police Department, and we are talking about what to do in a hit-and-run situation. It's a very, very scary situation, Paul.
Yeah, my tenure as a highway patrol officer, a lot of the cases involving fatalities and hit and run, a lot of it goes cold because the information that we don't have for the vehicle, and it's just pretty much just the victim and evidence that we have, and that's why it's really important that we reach out to the community in the event that somebody had witnessed something to come forward. Even if you don't want to speak to a police officer, use our Crime Stoppers outlet in which you can actually report it, that you had witnessed the crash and you got the license plate, or you know the individual that's responsible. And these are the information that we need to bring closure to the case.
Now, I know a lot of people might be a little bit hesitant because they say, if I speak up and I get involved, am I making myself culpable? And will I be, have to be brought in possibly to court, or do I do anything? And that's when people tend to get nervous. But what can you say about that?
Yeah, with the Crime Stoppers program, you don't have to testify. We're not forcing you to testify, and you're protected by the anonymity clause in which we have. That information that you bring forward, we actually use that. We give it to our crash investigators, and it's just information that's received to the Crime Stoppers. In the event it goes to court, defense is not going to ask you for that individual that provided information to come and testify. So no one's going to know that you provided that information, and that's the main thing that we need, again, is information.
Now, what, as far as the letter of the law goes, what technically is a hit and run? Because, obviously you've got different degrees of severity of auto accidents, but could it even mean like minor fender benders?
Yeah, fender rubs and everything, the basic fender rubs in parking lots or parking areas where cars are backing, they don't even know they actually make contact with another car. But there is significant damage where the person can actually file within that parking lot crash that they were a victim of a hit and run. Another incident can also be that of a pedestrian that's walking on the main thoroughfare or within the streets. They get struck by a vehicle and the vehicle leaves. That is another prime example of a hit and run. And if it's vehicle to vehicle, or if it's an auto pedestrian crash, anytime you have a vehicle or the operator of the vehicle flee the scene, you can actually have the vehicle there too, or the operator fled. That constitutes as a hit and run.
All right. Well, what's this week's crime of the week?
Unfortunately, this is the crash that happened at the Hafaday Exchange in Tamuning involving that hit and run.
All right. Let's find out the information.
On Tuesday, January 17, at about 4:10 in the afternoon, officers from the Tumon Tamuning Precinct Command responded of a reported auto pedestrian crash in the Denayon restaurant located at the Hafaday Exchange in Tamuning. According to the police report, an adult male was working inside a manhole when an older model 4-door Nissan Sentra, color gold or beige, struck him and then fled the scene. The victim was later transported to GMH by medics, where he was pronounced dead at around 4:36 p.m. Anyone with any information regarding this incident, which occurred around 3:50 in the afternoon, is asked to call the Guam Police Department at 472-8911 and asked to speak with an officer from the Highway Patrol Division, or call Guam Crime Stoppers at 477-4357. That's 477-HELP. If you have any information about this crime or any other crime, please call Guam Crime Stoppers at 477-HELP. That's 477-4357. You can also send a text to 486-HELP. That's 486-4357. You can also submit information of a crime through our webpage at guam.crimestoppersweb.com, or call the Guam Police Department at 475-8615, 6 or 7. Guam Crime Stoppers wants to remind the public that we do not use caller ID, and you do not have to leave your name. You can receive a cash reward of up to $1,000 if the information provided leads to the arrest and conviction for the person or persons responsible for this crime or any other crime.
All right, Paul, so hopefully somebody's going to come forward and speak up about this, because that's been the one thing that you've educated us, the community, over the years is, it may be a little bit of a scary situation to just speak up if you happen to witness a crime, like you may be a little bit nervous about it, but when it finally comes down to it, it's also your civic obligation to do so.
Yeah, absolutely. And we attribute that factor. It's funny how we mentioned that, because through the week I've been talking to the high school students, and one of the questions they ask is, Officer Tapao, why don't people report crime? And fear is one of the major factors. Fear of getting involved, or fear of retribution, that something might happen to them. And you're right, it is your civil duty. You have the answers to put closure to the case. Give us that information so we can actually bring closure, not just to the work of the police officer, but also closure to the family. Because I mean, it really tears a person deep inside, knowing that why did this happen? How could somebody actually do this and not have the human insights to actually say that I'm sorry, this is what happened. I own up to this crime and everything. And that's why it's important for witnesses or anybody has information to please come forward, help our investigators, and most especially bring closure to the victim's family.
And it is the Guamanian thing to do. We take care of each other in this part of the world.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It takes a village to take care of an entire island. So, we ask our fellow Pacific Islanders, our fellow Guamanians, if you have any information of not just this crash, but any other case that needs closure, please use our Crime Stoppers program. If you don't want to speak to an officer, the Crime Stoppers, we do emphasize the anonymity clause, and you will be protected.
All right. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week.
Thank you for having me.
All right. And we will see you on the flip side of this break. Please stay tuned.